Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this panel of experts. Today, we're going to argue about globalization. Is globalization really on retreat? Here we have three experts on the globalization theme. Fernando Sáenz, expert of technological globalization.
Hello.
Hilda, Olivia, expert of economic globalization. And me, Fabian, expert of political globalization. Here we go with you, Fernando.
Oh, okay. So first of all, I just want to say that basically, we can all think that maybe globalization could be in retreat because in the past years we have seen a lot of countries, a lot of important countries like the United States, China, Russia, a lot that have been like retreating from certain treaties, that those treaties maybe sometimes benefit the globalization aspect in whole. But I think that globalization in general can't be on retreat because globalization is like a process, and that process it starts from maybe not being like nothing and continues to evolve, continues to keep getting better. So the thing is that globalization cannot be like a step back. It's always evolving into something else, even if like other countries decide not to take into consideration some treaties. So like for example, if we see it in the technological way, this has really helped to like impulse globalization in a big way, because only if we can see it in the online world, in the manufacturing process, we can also like think of the industrial revolution, that the machines are connected. So those all of those process, all of those technological process, like the transport process and all of that, is really helping into making better things for globalization.
Okay, that's a really interesting perspective. So what do you think, Hilda?
Well, I think that, first of all, globalization is a process in which we integrate the global economy. It is marked by the free trade, the free flow of capital, and the tapping of cheaper foreign labor markets. And in most of the latest decisions that has been taken, these mentioned characteristics aren't taking place. So that's why I conclude that globalization is in fact in retreat. One of these situations is the one of the Brexit, that refers to the withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the European Union. As this happens, some Britain and some other Western democracies may face some great pressure to put a brake on their open trade and immigration policies, which has been some of the boosts of the global economy. And as this is considered as a backdown to globalization, and according to Erickson, the age of globalization has certainly ended, and some scenarios where major borders are closed and there is protectionism among some countries are predicted.
Okay, Hilda, so I agree with both of your postures in the political side of globalization. Uh, in the current era, globalization is seen like a new colonialism where rich countries gain like domain over small and poor countries. This is where the statement of agreements are taken into place. For example, as Hilda mentioned, some treaties for example, in the last, well, in the 50s and 60s, white laboring men that used to work on manufacturing areas noticed that with their small work, they could take really good benefits and live like in the medium class life. For example, this type of globalization, political globalization, enhances benefits to the strongest and richest countries. So, what do you think?
Okay, yeah, so I certainly agree with you in the sense that it like this whole globalization like thing thing is like mainly improving the lives of the people who live in certain countries that are more developed. But what I think, and what I have been researching on, is that nowadays, like, the internet has provided us with a lot of information, which you can, like, nowadays gather from any website that could be like free from getting. Like, you don't even have to pay the whole amount that if maybe you will have to pay when you have to go to a school. So in this sense, I think that this is like a really big help for like undeveloped countries, because this is the way in which they can like develop their countries in a better way, and also like, I don't know, like, have a lot of knowledge in which they can have solutions to modern problems. And there's a lot of course in the world. Like, for example, there's a website called Coursera, I'm sorry, that it offers like not in 30 different countries, but in 30 different languages. So if you think about it, 30 different languages, it takes a lot of more countries, which those courses are also for free. I mean, you have to pay like a little amount, but only if you want to graduate from that course. So I think maybe, yeah, it could be like a lot of help, or only help and better help for developed countries. But I think it's also, this globalization aspect, it's also helping the undeveloped countries.
Okay, that's a really new, good perspective. That is a really good perspective. So, Hilda, what do you think?
Well, I agree with you that there is a more probability of having a product like in every other country. But I think I'd like to add something. It is not in every product or service. Like, the United States of America is implementing some type of tax, which is called tariff. At the moment, some of their rivals try to import something to their country, like is the case of China, where, well, there is no like a good relation between them, and the intention of the United States is to try to promote their citizens to consume local products, as the foreign products will have a higher price. So I think it is an obstacle too when you put these trade barriers, that they only make restrictions and make a nation poorer. So some have demonstrated that these barriers are not helping the progress of globalization, but it is making it be in retreat. So there is a lack of products in the United States that were imported from China, and in China the import went down 12.2% at the date of August 2019.
Well, Hilda, I really like, now that you say this.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Hilda, now that you say,
Continue.
oh, okay, thank you. Well, Hilda, now that you say this about like United States, like getting out of retreats, that's one of the things that I said at the beginning. And I agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of countries that maybe they need products from the United States, but I think this is a good way in a sense, because if you have seen the history of the United States, the United States has always been a country like a really developed country, a country where you can have like a lot of opportunities, like a country of everything, of market, a country of economy, like every aspect of them like is balanced. It's balanced in a certain way, but you cannot see this in other countries. So one of the things I think this is good for these treaties to well, United States like increasing their tariffs, is that now other countries are going to stop buying from the United States and clearing the way for other countries to grow in these aspects, because the United States has always win in this aspect. So I think this is a good way, and it could be able to increase the market for other countries to make other treaties, and also, well, increases and better.
Okay, Fernando, so connecting both of your ideas, as Broking US says, a multilateral organization are seen like elitist corporations because they prefer to make more money in the cost of the human living. So this, in addition to the use of internet, creates like right-wing ideas to the population in general, to the Southeast Asian population in majority. This is reflected like in the way politicians are elected, like more right-wing politicians are elected nowadays. So this is like a retreat of globalization where people want their products and their economy to stay within their borders. So this is like a really bad hit, really bad punch to the globalization.
Yes, yes, I really agree with you in that sense, that like, yeah, there's a lot of countries that maybe they don't see this way, like they just want to stop these treaties because they only want to like beneficiate themselves. But I think one of the main things that they're going to notice in the future is that maybe this isn't going to beneficiate them, and then it's only going to keep them like getting worse. And maybe this could be like a way turn in which other people or younger people with different ideas could like improve this. And also I wanted to add about what Hilda said in the beginning about what about the United States retreating from certain countries, like the NAFTA, for example. But if you see it in this way, the United States has changed the NAFTA to the USMCA. Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay, so the NAFTA has been changed to the USMCA. So what this means is that it's kind of like the same treaty. It's the same treaty it has always been with the three different countries. It was only changed, like Livingston website said, to create a modernized free trade system between the three parties that addresses recent and emergency critical issues such as the harmonization of regulatory systems, e-commerce, and the protection of intellectual property. So I think this is a good way of how can you say, like, keep getting better all of those treaties, like improve those treaties, because they're improving like the rules, they're improving how to make an easier trade.
So what do you think, Hilda, about what Fernando said?
Well, I think I agree with him, but I was talking more about these tariffs the United States targets against their rivals. So it's a retreat in globalization thanks to the fact that there's no free flow of capital, there's no tapping of cheaper foreign labor markets, and that there's no free trade. So the three characteristics from globalization are not taking place, and that's way of a retreat to it.
Okay, so in addition to your point, I think that organizations such as the United Nations or the European Union will continue to exist because they are supported by many countries around the world. But a negative point about these organizations is that they kill like the multi-ethnicity and kill the culture of their countries they are made of. For example, Mexico is a member of the United Nations, but due to globalization, its culture is being killed by the westernized culture that is even
Fabi,
this,
we can't
to
hear you
this conversation?
well. Can you give a little?
So do you want me to repeat my part?
Yeah, like a little part to get into context, I think.
Okay. Multilateral organizations such as the United Nations and the European Union are beneficial for the country, and at the same time are harmful because they kill the culture of its countries. So do you want to add more to the panel, or is it okay to conclude?
How are we in time?
We are 13 minutes. No, 15 minutes.
Okay. So I just wanted to add like something fast about like another subject about technological, about the technological and how it helps globalization. And well, I think that like nowadays, like I was talking in the first time I was talking about the fourth industrial revolution. Well, we can see this fourth revolution in the illustration. I'm sorry. We can see this in the illustration that they want to interconnect all machines. They want to interconnect all these systems that they have. So what this is going to help is that in a sense manufacturing is going to be like how can you say, like a cheaper cost in some way, because there's free of errors and also only a machine is doing that. And also the good thing is that maybe they're going to give better jobs like engineering jobs or reparation jobs that are like less stressing than being like in a manufacturing plant. So I think that really works into like interconnecting all the countries and having like a lot of businesses like being created in the internet and being all around the world distributing their products. So I think that's it for my whole opinion.
Hilda, do you have something more to add?
I have one other situation, but it's fact. Another one that is considered an obstacle to globalization is the fact that some of the countries in Eastern Europe are closing their borders to the refugees. This because a cause can be that they have like they are afraid that their economic security will continue, and they are preventing the illegal immigration that is expected to cause a lack of control over who is living in a place, and it leads to making it more difficult to control the payment of taxes. And that's it.
Okay, so to conclude, we can say that globalization is a multifactorial, complex theme that has seen and will see major changes in the near future. And as it is expected, there will be major changes in globalization. It won't disappear all, but it will have a restructuration. For example, countries like the United States or the members of the European Union will no longer be the center of attention of the whole world, but rather the center of gravity of the globalization will change to a new place and help emerging countries grow. And it will help and the whole world will see major changes in the political, technological, and economical areas. This means like a breakdown of authority.
Okay. So yeah, so thank you very much to everyone. That was a great conversation.
Thank you everyone, and thanks for having this conversation.
Okay, bye.